Hello and welcome to Post-Burnout.com interviews. Post-Burnout.com is a culture website dedicated to venerating burnt-out artists the world over. My name is Aaron Kavanagh and I'm the website's founder and editor-in-chief. This is our website's podcast where we publish the full interviews from our site's articles and sometimes release exclusive episodes. In this edition of Post-Burnout.com interviews, Kelly Branagan, the frontwoman of the Dublin-based gaze-infused alt-rock band Merricat, discusses the band's upcoming debut EP, how the project came about and the rapid pace it has been moving in, their change in sonic direction for the EP, naming the project from a half-finished book, how their layered and euphonic sound came about, surviving the Irish music scene, and much more. Starting next month, Merricat will be performing across Dublin. On April 8th, they'll host an EP launch at the Workman's Club with Epilogue, Skyless, and Tommy Guns. Then on April 10th, they'll support Bold Boy at Anseo. Factor 50 will also be playing that show. On April 13th, they'll be performing at the Grand Social with Holy Show, Jaded, and Picture Postcard. Then on May 28th, they'll support Silk at Upstairs at Whelan's. Skyless will also be performing at that show. Tickets for all of those shows are available in the description of this episode. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Hello.
Hey Kelly, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Is it just you and I on today, or will the others be joining?
I think Josh is trying to join right
Okay.
now.
Oh, I'll wait off till Josh on. Well, how have you been, Kelly?
I'm good.
How's life?
Good, yeah. We have a gig today, so
Oh, cool. Where
it
are you
should be
playing?
good.
Well, it'd be a little late to plug it, but for the
Yeah, we're
memories.
playing we're playing Workman's today.
Cool. Uh,
Yeah.
who you performing with?
We're performing with Ray, Trinkets, and we were supposed to be playing with Charcoal Greys, but they had to pull out unfortunately, literally like an hour ago, so it's a bit hectic right now.
Huh?
So
Okay.
I think they should be fun. I think they're trying
Well,
to find a new person.
we'll wait for Josh. How about I ask about your background then? So, what's your background, I guess, as a musician before you joined America?
Well, I've been in one band before. It was kind of like a small, like secondary school band.
Hmm.
It was a bit of fun though. Like we started off playing covers, like most first bands do. Just in my friend's like shed in his garden in Cowes. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was good though. It was a bit of fun. We would like cover like Cure songs, and we wrote a few originals, I think, like maybe one or two, but yeah, it was good.
Well, it's interesting too, like you talked about the Cure there. Like the Cure, I find kind of like for the kind of sort of shoegaze music that you guys do, I find the Cure to be kind of, I guess, like proto shoegaze in a way. Like an album like Disintegration is just like, it's to me, it's almost as gazy as like Loveless or something, you know?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I don't know if I can consider our oh Jesus, sorry. I don't know if I consider our sound shoegaze, but definitely inspired anyway. But yeah,
Were you always kind of interested in that sort of, I guess, mode of music, that kind of like layered, textured kind of music? And, when I listen to your band, like, it's obvious that like, the incorporation of melody and kind of like hooks, like sort of repetitive hooks that like really, I don't know, really kind of burrow their way into your skull is sort of very apparent. Was that always what kind of appealed to you as a music fan, even before being a musician?
yeah, I'm a big fan of writing melodies, so like that would be like a big like element for me. And then like with this band, like with Merricat, I think we've started experimenting a lot with like layering sounds and like just making things sound interesting, because um we started off like experimenting a lot with different genres and trying to kind of find our niche, I suppose, and like what sticks. Um and I feel like that really like benefited us now, like for our sound now, because we're still kind of not like bound to one genre. We're kind of still experimenting and still having fun, but I feel like we're getting somewhere. Like I feel like we're developing a sound of some sort, like we're to the point where people hear it and think, oh yeah, that's a Merricat song. I think that's like the goal.
Yeah.
Um, and I really enjoy like writing like catchy melodies, and yeah, I just find that fun, I suppose.
Well, to go back to like when you first started kind of getting into music, so you mentioned like when you were in secondary, that's kind of when you had your first band. But generally speaking, prior to that, like, was your first instrument guitar? Did you like start with acoustic and then go to electric, or was it something completely different?
I actually started with ukulele, funny enough.
Okay.
It was very like, I suppose, trendy at the time. I was
Yeah, it's
only
very 2010s.
Yeah, very 2010s, like Riptide was going around. That's like where I started. I was only like, I think I was only like 11 or something when I started like playing ukulele. And then I remember my dad, because my dad and my brother like play guitar. My dad kept trying to convince me to play guitar, and I was like, no, I don't want to. Like, I don't know why I didn't want to, but I didn't want to. And then COVID hit, and then I like started playing guitar a lot more. I mainly started on electric, which is a bit unusual. Most people start on acoustic, I feel like, but
Yep.
I kind of started with electric and learning like Arctic Monkey songs. That's what started me off. Um, and then I started writing my own stuff when I was like 14, 15, and like doing like really shitty, like, like, I don't know, really like indie pop kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, it was fun. I had loads of time, load of free time, so yeah.
Yeah, that's actually like going starting with electric sounds kind of crazy to me because like, normally you start with like acoustic, learn the foundation, and then you like transition to electric and then deal with the headaches of that, like getting the tone. Like I quit electric guitar so quick because like I was just like the tone was just like annoying me. Just like I was like I can't deal with this. Like, I can't
Really?
deal with this
Yeah.
shitty tinny tone off of like a 15-watt amp or something. I was like I can't. So I've always
Yeah.
primarily been an acoustic boy myself, but yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because I used my brother's old amp, like it was a really shitty, like Harley Benton.
Oh wow.
And it was I used his electric guitars. I basically just stole all of his stuff. Like I used his Epiphone Les Paul, which was actually really nice, but it was like really like broken up, and like
Yeah.
it was missing I don't know, tuners and everything. And then I upgraded when he upgraded. He got a new guitar. He got a Fender, Squire. Oh no, not a Squire. It was actually a Fender, Strat.
Oh
And then I got his Squire Telecaster, which I actually still use to this day. Like I used it at our last gig. So,
yeah.
um, even though I have my own, like I have a Jazzmaster, and I have another telly, a Harley Benton telly, which isn't great, but um yeah, I still do use the telly that he gave me because it's just like, I don't know. I basically started on it, and I still like really like it, but I'm trying to use the Jazzmaster now more because I feel like it sounds better. But yeah.
Yeah, Jazzmaster is great. I was always like a huge Sonic Youth fan, so like that was the one I bought when I got an electric was a Jazzmaster, and I was like, yeah, I just can't deal with the amp, the amp.
Yeah.
Rather, I was like, ugh. Um, well, I have to ask, like, so when it comes to like Merca, I mean, like, what's the kind of tuning situation like? I mean, do you do much alternative tuning, or is it all primarily in um in the effects you use?
Well, all of our like like first songs were all just standard. But recently we've been experimenting with like different tunings, especially for the new songs like Marrow. Marrow's kind of what started the like alternate tunings, and I think ever since we haven't gone back. So like ever since we changed up the tuning for that song, like all of the new songs have all been like weird tunings, like evil sounding tunings, and I think that's what like started our kind of new sound, I suppose. I think
Yeah.
it just like it broadened our horizons, because I was never really like I never really experimented with it before, because I was like, oh, it's just too much effort having to tune. Oh, like especially for live sets, thinking, oh, just the awkwardness of having to tune. But
Well,
Sure,
it sounds
like
like you have enough guitars to be able to switch out for different tunings.
yeah, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. So yeah,
You just
and
need a
like I
guitar tech in your grand.
yeah, literally, yeah. But yeah, I think it's a good thing that I kind of got that out of my head because sure I was like going to like other small Dublin bands in like in the scene and like shoegazy bands and they're like tuning for every song and like it's
Mm.
fine. Like I think it's worth it for the song. Like I think it's worth the few minutes of tuning and the little bit of awkwardness in between, but it's okay.
Um, let's talk about before we get on to tomorrow. I want to talk about the song, but before we get onto it, I want to talk actually just about Merricat kind of forming. So, how did this project kind of like come together? And I want to ask about the sound, but let's just stick with that first. Like how they kind of consolidate.
Yeah, sure. So it basically started with me and Josh. We wanted to start a society in college. Like we both went to NCAD, or we both still are in NCAD,
Mhm.
in Dublin, and we wanted to start like a live music society because the DJ society and like DJs in NCAD is very big. But we were both really surprised in first year that there was like no other like live music things going on because when we met each other like we both like bonded over music and stuff like that and we are like how about we try see if other people are into it and want to like jam sometimes. So we like just messaged into a group chat or we messaged into the NCD Music Society that like we're gonna have a jam this day and whoever wants to come should come. And that's when we met Oshin. We actually met Oshin the first day of that. He was the only one available to to jam. So we jammed with him, and it was great. Like, it was great fun, just like being able to meet new people because we were in first year as well. So like, I didn't know anybody like at all. So I was just kind of trying to make friends. And then our old bassist, Lewin, we met Lewin through that as well. And the four of us just kind of clicked. We kind of just started making music and just kind of having fun. Like we weren't taking it too seriously. Um, and we were just kind of like messing around with stuff. Like Lewin makes his own music as well, so it was great like having the two to like switch between because I like have had my own like solo stuff as well. So we kind of both collaborated a lot and Oshin and Josh like would like chime in and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how we met initially. And then Kai came in this summer because there was Lewin went away, so there was like a period of time where we didn't have any bassist, so we needed a new bassist and it kind of just clicked with Kai and that's when we started kind of developing our sound into something different. Like it started to take like a different direction and we all like really enjoyed how it was going. So that's we've just been kind of developing on that since, and Lewin's still doing his solo stuff. He came back recently, um, and yeah, it's just kind of been we've been going on since, just kind of trying to dial in and lean more into the sound that we developed over the summer, pretty much.
Before I continue with that, I wanted to ask, you mentioned briefly there that you were doing your own solo material. Were you recording, releasing, or playing, or was that just kind of stuff that was for you? And generally, what did that kind of sound like in comparison, say, to Merca?
Yeah, I released stuff when I was like younger, like when I first started. I was around like 16. I released like two songs, just recorded them myself, like in my bedroom, very lo-fi, like very bad, very indie, like pop. And
Yeah.
then in first year, before the band kind of took off, or not took off, but before like we started jamming and stuff, um, like the first like month or two of first year, I released a song which we actually still play with the band today, Sut. It's still up on Spotify actually. I
Okay.
rec- I recorded it myself as well. Very again very lo-fi. more kind of indie rock. But we've kind of developed that song a lot. Like it's become like a Merricat song now. So um it's more, we've made it sound a bit more like, I don't know, we've made it fit our sound a bit more, I think. And it sounds very different to my original recording, which is fine. Like stuff always develops, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that we've took a different direction, which I'm happy with. I much prefer the sound that we have going on compared to my solo thing, but have to start somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that always happens anyway. Like whenever like, new people adapt the same material, it's always going to change and alter. It's the songwriting process in Merricat because, like as you mentioned, everyone there is already kind of a songwriter in their own respect. Is the songwriting collaborative? Does it start with like, you guys come into a room and jam, or is it more like someone starts with a foundation of something and then the rest of you kind of build on top of that? How's the I guess the process of actually making the songs come about?
The process is usually, it starts off with me or Kai have a foundation. So up until recently it's been, um I'll kind of write like a very rough like rhythm guitar part, and then I'll come up with a melody to it, and
Yeah,
then I'll bring it to the band and they'll add their own layers, and they'll like suggest like, oh, this could be better and this could be better. um the most recent songs we've been working on, Kai has brought like melodies and guitar parts over, because he plays guitar as well, which is really helpful. So it's been more of a collaborative experience, I think, recently, which is good. I think it's good to have more than one person bringing something to the table, you know. But yeah, sometimes it kind of depends. Like I think for one of our songs, well, Springfield Glen, it started off with like a very rough kind of thing that I came up with, like the main rhythm guitar I came up with, and then I brought it, and then it like we all like completely changed it, and it made it sound like 10 times better. Like it just
yeah.
like went to a next level. But yeah, I'd say it's very collaborative, but it usually does start with something beforehand. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely, yeah. Um, I also want to ask, like, so when you guys like came together in NCAD, what's there kind of an idea of what the sound would be like from the get-go, or is that just kind of organically what kind of came out when you guys just jammed together?
It was kind of organic, like whatever we played kind of came out. Like I had songs before um the band, like I said, like so, and a Lady Like was also another one that I had but hadn't released. Um and we kind of used to jam on them a lot, and then we used to jam on like just riffs that we'd come up with there, because it was very like just for fun. Like we didn't actually like call ourselves a band until like a couple months in, I think.
Mhm.
Um, so like it was very just loose, kind of. Um, I don't know. It was very just for fun. So we weren't really developing a sound, I don't think. But if we were, I would say it's very kind of different to what we have now. It was more indie than anything. Like I feel like now we're kind of trying to lean more into like alt rock and kind
Yeah.
of like dreamy rock. I don't know how to describe it. I can
I,
never
I would
describe
describe it
ourselves.
as gaze-infused alt rock, I guess. I don't know if that's very
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah. That's I'll go with that. I'll run with
Sure.
that.
You shouldn't have to
But
define it. Let it be fluid. Let it be what you want. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I'd
for
say
lack
I'd
of a
say
better
that's it.
descriptor.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I think actually like what's very integral also to your sound and what I think is consistency between like, Ladylike and the self-titled song versus the new songs that are going to be on the EP. I think the one consistency is the layering and the production on each track. Do you guys self-produce or do you work with an external producer for the recording and mastering of your songs?
No. So we Our two recent songs were recorded by AJ Das.
Oh yeah, yeah, from Picture Postcard. Yep.
Yeah, AJ. He's brilliant. He recorded, mixed, and then we got John Kirk. He mastered them.
From Innuendo. Yeah.
Think so. I'm not actually too
Yeah, I think
sure.
so. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's the right
But
guy.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, he mastered them. We're working with him right now, trying to finish off the EP. We have two more songs we're recording, so we're actually recording them tomorrow. Actually, forgot about that.
No,
But
sick.
yeah, so we have the two songs that are out right now, Springfield Glen and Marrow, which will both be on the album, and then we have Merricat recorded as well, a new version, which is 10
Okay.
times better, we think, than the other one. But well, not 10 times better, but it's just more our vision, if that makes sense. But
Sure.
yeah, and then we have two more songs that we are recording as well, which will be fun, but no
So,
spoilers. So
okay, so is it going to be a six track? Is it an EP or an album, like a mini album, or how are you
um
defining it?
we're just calling it an EP.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's how many songs? One, two, three, five songs. So Springfield Glen, Merrow, Merricat, and then two more. That's five, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Two more to be determined.
Yeah, two more. But yeah, hopefully we're aiming for April, hopefully. But don't
Okay,
know.
right. So that's pretty. That's like next month. So that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's pretty
pretty
soon.
yeah, pretty soon.
Okay.
we
um,
we have we know what we're like we know what we're recording. I think it's just hopefully it'll be done by then. We kind of were running a bit behind schedule, trying to figure out which we're between two songs. Well, we know we're definitely recording this one song, but the second one we were between two, but we decided on one. So we have the drum tracks recorded. We just have to record the guitars and vocals tomorrow. So hopefully all will go well.
Hopefully, I think
Yeah,
it'd be fine. I think it'd be okay. What's the worst that
yeah,
could happen? The studio goes on fire. No,
yeah.
jinx it. If I
Hopefully
hear
not.
about that tomorrow, I'll keep an eye out on the news and then just like listen for any like studios have gone on fire and be like, oh, that was me. um, when it comes to as you mentioned, like the first two songs, I mean, how do you find that Springfield, Glen, and Marrow, this your latest track, which came out last month as we're speaking? How do you find that these kind of differ from the first two tracks that you guys brought out?
I feel like they're a lot more evil. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how we've been describing it. We've been
Are you in the
describing
studio
it.
being like, make it more evil, make it?
Yeah, literally,
Yeah,
that's what we're like. We're every time
yeah.
I bring a song idea, they're all like, "It's so evil. I love
You
it."
should get a pedal that just has like evil on it that you can like tune the dial.
Yeah, just up the evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mid
That's how
bass
I just
evil.
yeah. That's how I describe the two new songs. I'd describe them as very like melancholy, and that's how I'd describe the EP. To be honest, it's very kind of eerie, melancholy, and just dreamy, like all in one. I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the songs is like a little bit different. It's not as eerie, but um
It's still
it's a little
evil.
switch up. It's still a little bit evil, still a little bit
A little
sad.
bit. Everything's a little bit evil. There's no true
Yeah.
ubiquitous niceness.
Evil is interesting, I think. Evil sounds interesting. But
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
yin yang. We all have a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to ask though. So like when it came to the EP, you mentioned like terms there, kind of like. But the impression I'm getting is that it's kind of like sort of dreamy, but also sort of disquieting, and a little I don't know. I'm just using your term now, but evil. But so kind of dark, but also kind of ethereal and dreamy, I guess. Was that kind of like was that concept going in that like okay, we're going to make an EP and it's going to have this kind of tone and this kind of like atmosphere to it, or was it kind of like these are the songs we brought, and then when we recorded them, we looked back and went, oh, I guess this is the connective through line between each track.
I think I don't think it was really intentional. I think just it's kind of just the way it ended up being. For Marrow and another song we have on the EP, they're very much like intertwined, I think, and very similar in style.
Hmm.
And very like for when we wrote Marrow, we wrote this one after like this other song that's going to be on the EP. And we kind of went into that one being like, yeah, we want it to be the same vibe as Marrow. We want it to be evil. Like we had a go for that one. And I feel like we hit it. So I think that was kind of obvious for them too. But I feel like the other songs were kind of just they just happened to align, and like Merricat I feel like fits into the vibe anyway, even though we wrote that like a while ago. Like that was one of our first songs we wrote as a band, and not like me bringing my solo stuff in.
Hmm.
Excuse me. So I feel like it kind of just they kind of just linked, and like the songs we chose um were intentional. Like there were other songs that we could have recorded that didn't really fit our vibe, the vibe of the EP that we wanted. But a lot of them were recorded before we kind of or sorry, a lot of them were wrote before we kind of had that intention of it being like an eerie kind of ethereal vibe. I feel like it just kind of came through naturally.
Cool. And I'll let you get on with your day now. I know you have a gig soon, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I just want to ask just a few more questions, and I'll let you go. One question I wanted to ask was, you began releasing music anyway. I think it was last June, if I remember correctly. I think that's when Lady Light came out. So it's almost a year, I guess, of releases. But how long have you actually been performing and been together before you started actually releasing the music, just in terms of like a timeline?
Oh God. Well, I think we started. I always mess up the times. It was early 2025. I think that's when we started like jamming and like kind of called ourselves a band, but it wasn't until like the summer that we like well, we started jamming before um like with our old member and stuff. We started like jamming and playing gigs, like a couple of gigs. I think we played like around four, I think. And then the summer we kind of took time to write more because we weren't really happy with a lot of the songs that we were performing. We were kind of just doing it because it was like just a bit of fun, but like we weren't completely happy with the songs. So we spent then the summer like writing more, and like um then we started playing other gigs and like developing our sound. And then I think that's when we started like properly like I don't know, developing our sound. I feel like was the summer. I don't know, it's kind of a blurry timeline because
Yeah.
there's been different members, and then there's been like points where we weren't really a band but we were just friends jamming and hanging out. So it's like the timeline's a bit blurry, but yeah, we've been I'd say a year. I'd say we've been going around like a little over a year. That's how I'd put it.
That's really interesting. I mean, like how much like ground you've covered in that year because like, you've gone from just forming the band, releasing, four singles at this point, touring and playing shows and, now releasing your EP. I mean, to me, it's like, 'cause I talk to people and sometimes like, yeah, we formed the band, then 5 years later we had our first EP or something. It's like it really depends. But
Yeah.
for that, I mean, it seems like really hitting the ground running. Has it felt rapid to you, or has the pace felt kind of like natural and sustainable, I guess?
Yeah, I think at the start it was very fast, very like the others kind of wanted to start releasing stuff like straight away because like we were playing gigs and people were like, "Oh, I really like this song and I really like this song." And we kind of wanted I think we just wanted to put music to our name like online. So like we just
Yeah.
wanted to put out these songs just so we had something. Because I know a lot of people, like a lot of bands don't put out music for a good while. And like I understand that. Like I think their live sets are like amazing. Like most of these bands, their live sets are so good, and you're just thinking, why don't you have anything on Spotify? Like what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
So I feel like we took a very different approach. I feel like we were developing our like we were releasing music. We found that to be more important than our live set. And I think that kind of hindered us a little bit. I think we're like right now, after like I know that we're recording the EP, but we've established that after we finish the EP, like that's gonna be it for a while because we wanna work on our live set. Like we feel like we have a lot of room to improve on our live set and it to make it more of a performance. So like that's why we have a lot of gigs lined up right now is because we're taking anything really because we think we just need the practice and like need to just work on that a bit more. But yeah, I do like the fact that we have what we do have on Spotify because it kind of shows like where we started and like even though it might not be completely how we sound now, it's still something, you know, it's still something to show, like work to show and stuff that we worked on and we're proud of. So yeah.
Yeah, this is the interesting thing. I've talked to other artists about this, and I kind of have mixed feelings on it myself. I'd like to get your opinion if you don't mind. Like, sometimes like I'll talk to other artists, and they'll have releases out, and then after a while they'll delete their early stuff because they're like, well, it no longer represents who we are. To me, I'm kind of against that because I like having the record. I'm like, I like the historical record. I mean, like I like having the like chronology of the band, including like their early starts and things like that. How do you feel about that, Kelly?
I suppose I'm kind of conflicted on because we actually had this conversation only recently
Okay,
because since we have since you've kind of changed your sound quite a lot, there was debates on deleting stuff, but like I think it outweighs. I think majority wanted to keep it, especially for Merricat because since we have the new recording, which I'm personally like really happy with, and I think the others are really happy with it as well. Um, like there was talk about deleting the old one just to like avoid confusion, but
sure.
I think we're gonna. I think we were thinking to just keep it and maybe rename it as like a single version or something like
Yeah.
that because it's still getting streams, like people are listening to it, which I suppose is good. So that was kind of the overall take, but sure, we don't know yet. We're kind
Hey,
of
Sarah, Sarah.
yeah, it's around like I don't know. I think for now we're just gonna keep it. Sure, it'll be fine. There's no I feel like there's no right or wrong thing to do really. Like we're not like some big massive like stadium band that like if we delete our song our fans will be like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like it's like I don't know, putting an LP of circulation or something. I don't know. People have done it, you know what I mean? Like it has precedent prior to this, but yeah, I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I guess maybe three final things. I'll let you get on with your day. One thing I actually wanted to ask was about the name of the band. So, was that like an easy thing to kind of like choose the name, or was that something you guys debated on? Because naming a band is much more difficult than people think. When like even if there's only like two people in the band, just getting the
Yeah.
consensus is like so difficult. So, was that smooth sailing, or did it take a bit of convincing?
Yeah, it was a bit of a hard one because um I actually wrote the song Mary Cat before we even had a name for the band. So that's like where it came from. Because I was talking to Josh about it, like I was telling him about, I was like, oh, I wrote this new song. It's about like this character in a book that I'm reading. It's basically the name of a character from We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. It's a Shirley
Hmm.
Jackson book. Um I just kind of I never finished the book. Well, I no, sorry, I did finish the book, but I wrote the song before I finished it, and I kind of like took the story and I made it into a new story, like and created my own ending for it, if that makes sense. Like
Yep.
I didn't know how it ended yet, so I was like, I might just write my own ending and make it into a
Could I
song.
ask how similar it was, now that you've read it?
It's actually weirdly similar. Like
Okay.
there's strange similarities. But I did read it. Like I did have some context. So, but I was only halfway through.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the character turned out to be the character turned out to be not a great person. So I don't know how good that is. But well, she's
That's a bummer if you're like, oh my God, I love America. And it's like, oh no. Oh no.
yeah, yeah. I
Guys, I
can't.
swear it's only on page 1, 2, 3 at the time or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
swear I didn't read it,
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry. No, 'cause it reminded me
yeah.
of like I remember like I think Kate Bush when she was like writing Wuthering Heights hadn't read the book when she came up with the idea. She saw like I think a TV version of it, so she kind of like half knew what the story. She like caught the end of like a TV broadcast on BBC of like Wuthering Heights, so she came up with the idea of the story. And she's like, "Well, I guess I better read the book then to know what's going on." So yeah,
Oh, really? I actually never
yeah,
knew that.
yeah. I heard that on an
Oh,
interview with her kind of like recently, I guess. Well, it was an old interview, but I just heard it recently. I was like, "Oh, cool," because I was trying to disprove a rumor because someone said, "Yeah, she never even read the book and she wrote the song." So it's kind of like it's half true if anyone. If
yeah.
anyone cares.
I swear I read the book, I swear. Well,
And were the rest of
I
the
read
guys
half of it.
receptive to it? Oh, sorry. Were the rest of the guys like receptive to it? Like, were they like, yeah, that's good? Or was it kind of like, I don't know. No.
It was kind of at the start. It was kind of like, oh, it's a placeholder. Like
Hmm.
we'll call ourselves that for now, and we'll figure something out. And then we were getting gigs, and we had to kind of like give our name, and like every time we just give Merricat. So like
Yeah.
it kind of just ended up sticking. And then they're like, I actually do like it, and I was like, well, I always liked it, so
Yeah, welcome
I don't know.
welcome to my world.
Yeah,
You're like being a hipster
yeah,
about your own band name. You're like, yeah, I've always liked it. I
yeah.
knew the band
Well,
before it was cool. Yeah. I half read the
yeah,
book it came from. Uh,
yeah.
and you were mentioning like you guys been gigging a lot. I was wondering whereabouts have you guys played like and have you like played out county and stuff. I know like I was at the Grand Social gig that you guys did at the in the ballroom there, but beyond that, like have you guys done like much gigging outside of Dublin, or has it all pretty much been in the city or the county even?
It's been pretty much all in Dublin, yeah. We did one gig actually, like a very small gig for my friends, like 21st. It's just kind of in like the local in Kells, where I'm from.
Yeah.
And we have hopefully a gig, like a gaff gig in Kildare over the summer, but nothing's confirmed yet. So
Nice meeting Kildare. It's like
yeah, me in Kildare.
all you need is Wicklow and you have it. You have all the bordering
Yeah,
counties.
well, two of the lads are from the Wicklow, so
Oh, sick! Yeah.
yeah,
You
hopefully
call yourselves a Dublin band. Hold on. Well, I suppose you started in NCAD.
we do. Yeah, I feel like it's just easier to say that,
It's
even
just
though
easier,
one member is only from Dublin. But sure, look, I can't be like
But it
we're a
makes it
me.
sound more exotic if you go, "Oh, you're from Kells, Dublin," and then whatever part of Wicklow they're from.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like,
We're so
well,
cultured, man.
yeah, I don't know. I was gonna list them, but then I'd be like, we're a Meath, Wicklow,
Yeah.
Wexford, Dublin based band. Like it
Oh
just
wait, it
doesn't
goes all
make
the way. It
sense.
goes all the way to Wexford. Oh my God.
Well, pretty much. Josh is from like Arklow, so it's like on the border, but technically Wicklow. But
Just where it'd be easier to list where you're not from.
yeah,
Um,
pretty much. Yeah.
Starting with Dublin. No, I'm joking. Do you find actually being like what was interesting, like you were mentioning, being like NCAD band and like a lot of the acts I talk to now like are all BIM. So the idea of starting like in a
Mm,
college band that isn't BIM seems kind of I don't know. It seems like you're missing out on crucial networking. I don't know. Has that been the case
yeah.
for you guys? I mean, have you found that like the scene is more insular, or do you think it's actually very open to people who aren't, I guess, who don't come from that background?
Yeah, that's an interesting question actually. It's it's difficult. I think we find it hard, like especially at the start, we were finding it very hard to like make connections, and we still kind of do because we feel like everybody we meet, everybody knows each other because everybody's like gone to BIM and like music college and studied music, while none of us have. Like we're all like self-taught and all like just learning as we go. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is open. Like, there's obviously other bands that aren't in music college, but I feel like every band always has one person that goes to BIM, and it's like
Yeah.
just really good for connections and getting yourself gigs. Um, and while I think that it does make it difficult at the start, I think once you're in, like I feel like you're in. Like you once you start like opening your circle and meeting people, I think it gets a lot easier. And like while we have noticed that like there is like not cliques, but like there is like groups that like all like would know each other and would gig with each other a lot, like tend to be BIM students. I think that it's very easy to like get yourself into those circles even if you don't go to BIM. I don't think it's the be all and end all, but it definitely does like give you advantages. But I feel like if you're dedicating your time to go to like music college and like put the time in and the money in to like spend on a course, I feel like that's it, you know, that's deserved. Like you're spending like your money to study it. I feel like you should like reap the rewards of that, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. So it's not like you can be like, oh well, if music doesn't work out, you can be like, well, maybe I could fall back on engineering with my degree in
Yeah.
BIM or something. I suppose
Yeah.
music engineering. Yeah, Jesus, that of all the examples I could have used, engineering. I was like, oh my god. Yes, you absolutely
Yeah.
could. Sorry.
All we
Yeah,
have to
maybe.
fall back on is our art degrees, so we're not
Yes,
in much
yes.
better
Hey,
spaces.
I have a degrees in humanities too, and like it's useless.
Yeah.
Be a doctor or a lawyer, kids, if you're listening.
Yeah. Don't go to art college, don't go to music college, don't
So
follow
you
your
could do it. You
dreams.
could do it as a vocation on the side, yeah. When
Yeah.
you're making in millions. Um,
Yeah.
I have two final things. So the final thing, I guess the final question I asked before I like let you wrap it up is talking about Mero. I want to talk about this song. I'm glad that I got the pronunciation correct because I wasn't sure if it was like a phonetic thing, like with cat, like Mero. I don't know. I was like, there's a possibility.
Oh my
So I,
God, I never even
so
thought about that.
I
That's
was waiting till
crazy.
you said it so that I didn't go. So tell us about your new single, Meow. So
That's
that
so
should be
funny.
all your song titles should just be like different cat sounds spelled phonetically.
Oh
It's like
no, that
here's
is so funny.
you
The next gigs tonight, I'll just be like, here's Mer.
yeah.
I'll just start meowing.
So with Mero, what kind of like I guess inspired this track specifically? This is your most recent single as we're speaking, and I guess this would be the last track out before the EP, right?
Yeah, this is the last one before the EP. Yeah. Um, I don't know. As I said, like a lot of the recent songs are very like melancholy. So like the song itself is like it's kind of about like frustration and like misunderstanding, miscommunication. Like I kind of based the whole song off that. And I try to like because a lot of my other songs are very like lyric driven and story driven, like lots of lyrics. So I try to keep it minimal with Marrow and to try to get the story across like with minimal lyrics and try to let the guitars and the melody shine through to kind of get that emotion across.
Hmm.
Because I felt like this song, like I felt like Marrow was more emotional than story driven. Like while there is still the story, I wanted the emotion to be more prominent. Um so yeah, I kind of we tried to focus on the guitars and like especially in the recording process, like with AJ, like it developed a lot. Like he was like great. Like he helped us a lot and like gave his two piece and like um it kind of just like developed in the recording process as well because we were adding like different layers of guitar and like stuff that you can't really do live. So
Hmm.
um I don't know, it was just a great opportunity to kind of really like the song and to really bring it to the next level. And I feel like it really like that we achieved that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um
absolutely.
yeah, and while we still do like love playing it live and like um it sounds good live. I think it sounds different. Like while like songs will always sound a bit different when they're like recorded and like stuff like that. I feel like it's two different vibes. I feel like live it's a lot more, I don't know, angry. I feel like we got the anger across more live because it's
Yeah.
a lot louder. But I don't know, I feel like the recording does a good job of that as well. So yeah, it was a very emotionally driven song and I hope that came across in the recording.
Actually, I just saw something as you mentioned there. I mean, so, but first of all, I mean, did you know AJ prior to this band? Like, had you known him and then considered him, or did you meet him through looking for a producer?
Um, well, actually, we didn't know him. Josh just reached out because he knew that he done music production because
Yeah.
we heard of his band and we were actually like we used to listen to his old band as well. Like we went to one of their gigs before, but we never knew him personally. Um, yeah, so I think Josh kind of he's the one that organized like the recording and stuff like that. So he reached out to him and then we kind of met him through that. Like we didn't really know him previously. But yeah, like um we've like seen his new band live and like picture postcard and like um and have been like friends since. So it's
Yeah.
been good. Yeah.
Yeah, Picture Postcard are great. Check out my interview with them. Plug, plug, plug. Um, um,
So
yeah, got a cross promo. Um,
yeah, might
uh,
as well.
yeah, I want to ask a fun thing. This will absolutely be the fun thing. I keep saying that, sorry, but then like a new thing comes in. Like I have to follow that lead. One thing I wanted to ask was you mentioned about like because I think it's very important for producers and the artists to have a very good working relationship that's based on kind of a mutual desire to make whatever it is the best it could possibly be. And I think like communication and working with that is crucial. And it seems like, you guys do have that working relationship with AJ. When it comes to translating the music live, you mentioned that, you're not too precious about it sounding, identical to the record. In fact, you kind of like that's a little different. Do you find like I don't know like when you're performing live, do you find that the sound engineers you're working with all kind of get the sound that you're going for, or is it kind of like difficult in certain settings to kind of get the Merricat sound that you guys have established with AJ, or has it been pretty easy to replicate it live to the extent that you want to?
I think we do find it kind of difficult to get the sound that we want. Like when we listen back to recordings, we're kind of like, I don't know, like it's not really how we kind of envisioned it or like how it really sounds on the record. But I feel like it depends on the sound engineer because like obviously every venue has their own sound engineer. And I don't know, I feel like most sound engineers hate me because my vocals are so quiet half the time and they're always
Yeah.
telling me to sing up. But like I don't know. I feel like that's the sort of vibe, like kind of like buried vocals. Sometimes
Sorry, I
it
just love the
works.
idea of doing the sound check, and the guy's like, "Sorry, could you just put the focus up?" You're like, "Why do you hate me?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
What did I
and
do
then
to you?"
after the gig, they're like, "Couldn't hear you." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
You should have said something. Sorry.
Literally, like I don't know. Like I feel like I can never tell. Like I don't know, especially with vocals. Vocals are like my most nerve-wracking thing live, especially because
Yeah.
I just never know like how I sound because I can, to be quite honest, I can never hear myself. So like I'm just hoping for the best. And like I'm just putting all my faith in the sound engineer that they
You got
that
to get
they
the in
can.
ears. You got to get the in ear things.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I actually do. I do have in-ears. I just need to get
Okay.
what is it? I need to get a transmitter for them. So I've got half of the
I'm
in-ear pretty
halfway
much.
there.
Yeah, halfway
It's
there.
it's like books, equipment, everything's just halfway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, book half
That's
free redshift.
that's the continuity here. It's yeah, in
One
fact like
day,
the EP at the moment is actually half full. It's half finished book, so.
one day we will be full. One day it will be
Woo.
finished. Everything will be finished.
Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Kelly. It's been lovely chatting with you. Is there anything you would like to add before we wrap up? Anything I failed to cover? And generally, do you want to kind of plug where people can find you? And do you have like live dates or anything that people should know about?
Well,
Sorry for
obviously,
laying all that on you.
no, you're
I was-
fine. Obviously, we have the EP coming out. Hopefully early April. No
Mhm.
promises, but hopefully.
Yeah.
As we said, halfway done.
Say
But
either springtime or summer.
yeah, spring. Hoping for spring. But
Oh, through spring. Yeah.
yeah, and then gig wise, we actually have an unannounced gig in the Workman's.
Mhm.
headliner. The 8th of April, which will be announced soon as well.
Okay, so I'll
um,
wait till that. I'll wait to publish this after it's been announced, and I'll keep an eye out.
okay, perfect. That should be soon. We're just waiting on the poster. And then we
Perfect.
also have a gig on the 12th or the 10th of April with Bold Boy. We're opening. That one's
Oh,
announced. So
sick.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. And then we
What
do
venue is
have
that?
that's on show. So
On shot.
little
Okay.
a nice small one. But yeah, we do have other things lined up, but I can't say anything yet because nothing's
Okay.
confirmed. So
You're under NDA.
I'm
But
under
these will be
NDA. Yeah.
these will be after the one tonight. But these be the two next ones. So Workman's on the 8th, and then on shot on the 10th.
Yeah, they're the two next ones that are
So
confirmed. We
everything
do.
else will be after these dates anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
perfect.
I hope.
Perfect.
I hope everyone's staying.
So where can people follow so that they can see any gig updates?
So people can follow us on Instagram, Merricat Band. Can follow us on Spotify, Merricat, Apple Music, YouTube Music. I think we're on all the musics.
Are you on Deezer and Tidal and all that too?
I think I think we are. I think so.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah,
don't really
you
know.
just send it out to your distributor and be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so just let them do what they will. But
It's on Spotify. That's what people want to know.
yeah, it's on Spotify and Apple Music. They're the
Yeah,
two main ones. I think it's on
yeah,
Amazon as well, actually. But
yeah. I
yeah,
don't know many people use Amazon Music, but yeah, for
yeah.
the
My
two of
my
you
dad
listening there.
my dad actually loves it. So shout out to my dad listening on Apple
Oh, so you
Music.
have to have one there for your dad. Your dad's like, I can't
Yeah,
listen to your band if it's not on Amazon.
yeah. He's like, right, I'm not listening.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And what's your plans for the rest of the year? I guess obviously EP's out April, and then you have, or you can just take, and then gigs obviously, but you can just taking it as it comes, or do you have like a master plan in the background?
No master plan, just the EP, and I think just really dial in on our set and just get that sounding solid. I think that'll be our goal of 2026, just to get the set sounding good, and yeah, that's it. And just keep writing. We'll probably still keep writing and maybe switch out the set. Maybe we just need to switch out songs and
Yeah.
make things sound more cohesive. But yeah, just take it as it comes, I suppose. Have fun.
You'll
That's the most
you'll
important part.
transition from evil to more ambivalent, and then that'll be the next mood change.
Yeah, this is our era. This is our evil era. Maybe our next
Yeah.
era will be like
It suits
happy
it. I
and
mean, I think everyone's feeling a little evil lately. Yeah. Maybe when we
yeah.
get to a point where people are feeling joyous, you'd be like, "Oh, we should reflect that in our art." But I think for now,
Yeah.
yeah, evil's a good representation of the world around us.
Yeah, just give in to the evil sometimes, Just
Maybe
once you're not
don't.
too evil.
Depends how
Maybe
evil.
the
Yeah.
the innocent evil.
Yeah. The kind of cool
Mischievous
sort of
evil.
bohemian evil. Yeah.
Yeah, not actually evil. We're not
Not
actually
the
evil. So
oligarchical evil.
yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Kelly, and enjoy the rest of your day. And best of luck tonight at the show.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Take care.
Right. See
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to that episode of Post-Burnout.com interviews. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, so we hope that you enjoyed and would consider subscribing, giving it a like on YouTube, or a rating anywhere else. We also have some exclusive episodes only available on Spotify, which features interviews with the likes of Kim Deal, Ron Mail of Sparks, Jacob Slater of Wonder Horse, Maria Kelly, Gavin Friday, and many more. So check those out if you're so inclined. Otherwise, thank you for listening and see you next time.